welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a very easy split pea soup. I'll go through the ingredients real quick and then I'll also put them on the screen for you guys to screenshot them. This is a very easy, simple recipe. Now it can be done vegan or you can utilize, I'm not going to be using ham. I'm actually going to be using turkey bacon because I still want to get some flavor. However, the only reason why I don't use ham is because I'm actually allergic to it. So I'm going to use 2 chicken soup base stocks there. There's 4 cups and 4 cups, so that's a total of 8 cups, and that's what we need for the recipe. If you're wanting to do this vegan style, I would recommend the Better Than Bouillon, and this is the vegetable or the vegetarian one, and it does add a lot of flavor. It's a fantastic soup base, and then that's 1 tablespoon equals 1 cube or 1 8-ounce can of broth to the water. So if you're interested in using that, that's a great substitute. So we're gonna put these in here. And I've got fine ground black pepper. We're gonna use some salt. I use the Himalayan sea salt. I've got 1 bag or 1 pound of split peas. The turkey bacon, this happens to be Jenny-O, I believe. Yep. And then I've got 5 carrots, 1 large onion, and 3 stalks of celery. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this cut. I'm also going to put my split peas in a strainer and I'm going to give them a rinse just to get off all the dirt or any of that extra sediment on them, so that we're starting with fresh split peas. The next step is I'm going to cut up some bacon. I've taken out 8 strips of bacon. You can go more or less depending on what the flavor is that you want. And I just cut them into thin slices. It goes fairly easy. And I don't know if you guys have an Instapot, but obviously this is going to be an Instapot recipe. It can be done on the stove as well. There is a saute mode on the Instapot, and that's what I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to be sauteing the turkey bacon as well as the onions. Now the onions I kind of left because I wanted to show you that I have this handy dandy tool from Tupperware actually, and it's the chop and prep. I've cut my onions in half and then I cut them in thirds, and I'm just going to pop them in here. And what I love about this is I end up crying so many times with my onions, and this is one of the easiest ways. There's a little handle on here and you just pull that and it will chop your onions. I shake it a little bit just to move any chunks down to the bottom, and then I keep going. And this yields your onions, and I'm going to pop them in the pot. I'm going to do the full onion though. I have all the onions in here. I'm going to go ahead and add the bacon in there, or the turkey bacon. And this is already heating up. I had pushed the saute mode on my Instapot, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Now if you're doing this on the stove, you'll want to just do it in a large soup pot. And you probably want to put a little bit of oil in the bottom of your pan, and then you're going to saute the turkey bacon and the onions just maybe about 2 minutes. Just to get those flavors to mix together. Saute them just until translucent, as you can see here, and it looks like we'll be ready to add the rest of the ingredients. After you've sauteed the turkey bacon and the onions, I'm going to go ahead and add in the carrots and celery. Next, I'm going to go and add in the peas that I had already rinsed off. I'm telling you guys, this is a very easy soup to make, and it goes a long way. I like to make soups just because it's not a one meal. You can get several meals out of it depending on how many people you have. I'm going to go ahead and add in the chicken broth now. I'm going to give this a little bit of a stir. Now that I added the extra stuff in there, just to combine all the ingredients. And now I'll add the liquid. And 2 full boxes of the chicken. I forgot to shake this before I put it in there. So definitely shake yours before you put it in there. Again, if you're doing this on the stove top, I would probably recommend sauteing the carrots and the celery for maybe a couple more minutes before you add in your peas and your broth. And then I would say you would be good to go, then add in the broth, and it'll probably take about maybe 30 to 40 minutes simmering at a low boil with the lid cracked. The last thing that I'm going to add in is going to be my salt and pepper. I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, maybe a little bit of a heaping teaspoon, just to give it more flavor. And then black pepper. I would recommend that you start with a half a teaspoon depending on how peppery you like it. I'm actually going to use a full teaspoon though, but you can start with a half. I tend to like my stuff a little bit on the spicier side, so. All right, I've added those ingredients. I'm gonna stir it. I'm gonna select the soup setting, and then I'm just gonna leave it be. So just give it a quick stir. Make sure your ingredients are all combined. I'll pop on over here and show you real quick what that looks like. So this is what your mixture looks like. You can see the turkey bacon in there. You know, put enough in there to flavor, which is also why I use 5 carrots. I just like to see the color, and I don't like a soup that doesn't have a lot to it. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and pop the lid on it. I'm gonna actually turn this to off. Then I'm gonna select soup, and it'll automatically set a timer for 7 minutes. And just let it do its thing. The lid is on here. You just wanna make sure that you have this not to venting, but to seal. Each pot is a little bit different. I have a very basic model. Therefore, I'm using the basic settings. If you have something different, you may want to look at your manual. This, again, is the base version. The soup is done. It beeps when it's complete. And so I'm actually going to turn the off button or the cancel. What we're going to do now is what you would call a quick release. I always use a cloth that I put over the top of this because I just don't want the steam to go up into my ceilings. So I'm going to go ahead and change this from seal to venting, but I'm going to put the cloth over it. Once the steam starts settling down, I go ahead and remove the cloth, and I'm just waiting for that pressure release to pop down, and then I'll know that it's ready and I can remove the lid. The newer models, or models that aren't the base model, have a better valve release system, and I do tend to like that. Eventually I'll be buying another Instant Pot and still maintain with 2 because of how much I use it. If you guys just heard that little pop, that means that it has released and we can take the lid off of this. So I'll bring you over here and let's take a look at how that soup turned out. This actually has a rest. I don't know if any of you have known that, but anyway, you can actually rest it right there. And that keeps everything out of the way. This is how that soup looks. It looks actually really good. It's nice and full. As many of you know too, split pea soup has a tendency when it sits for a while, it will get much thicker than what the original state is. So with that being said, keep in mind that you may have to add water when you go to use it the next day because those peas just kind of harden up and thicken. But it makes an excellent soup. So let's go ahead and give this a try. This is the ladle that actually comes with the Instant Pot. What's nice about it is it has a ridge on here, so you don't lose your soup spoon into the pot. I'm gonna go ahead and dish up some of this. This looks amazing, it smells really good. I always love when your home smells nice, just very welcoming and great for cold evenings. Tonight it's actually snowing. And look at that bowl of gorgeousness. A nice steaming soup. I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit and then I'll be enjoying some of that later. Bon appetit. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button and you'll be the first to know when I introduce any other new recipes. Have a great day.